Hi guys, and welcome back to Bookhaven with me, Kim. Today I want to do a video about 5 things to help book lovers on a budget. So if you're interested in that, stick around. Hello again, it's nice to see you as usual. So I wanted to do this video for a while. There's been a lot of talk lately about consumerism and book buying habits on BookTube. In my opinion, there's been a little bit of judgment going around with that, and honestly, for me anyways, like, I don't really care how anyone spends their money. It's their own business. Unless you're my husband and we've got like a joint savings and all that stuff, like, really, I just don't care. So having said that, I just wanted to make a video about the 5 things that help me stay on a budget and have access to the books that I'm excited about. So moving on from that, the first thing that I like to do is keep track of my TBR. So I'm on Goodreads, and in my section in the category of books that I want to read, it's probably somewhere around 400 or 500 books at this point. I'd be lucky if I get to all those in my lifetime. And every day, every video that comes out from other booktubers, that's constantly growing. But it's also decreasing too, because I do my research and try to be realistic about the books that I keep on my TBR and that I'm interested to read. Now, what I'm about to say doesn't always prove true, but I'd say like 80% of the time it works. I'll go into my library or go into my bookstore. I'll find some of the books that are on my top, whatever, 10 or 30, the ones I'm the most excited about. And I'll read a few paragraphs, even a couple chapters, to get a feel for the book and the writing style, to see just how much I think I might enjoy the book. And if I'm still in love with it, I keep that list short and to the side of my Goodreads. And if I'm questioning it or I'm not really enjoying it, I might just sort of take that off my top 30 or whatever and keep it still in my Goodreads pile. This doesn't work all the time. There have been books, even within the last 2 months, where I really was struggling to get into it. The first 150 pages, I almost DNF'd the book, and this has happened a couple times, but I've pushed through and ended up loving the book. So the system doesn't always work, but I find that helps keep my TBR down and be more realistic about what books I want to own. And hopefully when I do own one of those books, it will be a book that I love and not one that I end up DNFing or not enjoying. Now, the next tip that works for me personally is because I have a credit card now. I don't promote people having credit cards. If you can get away without living with a credit card, that is amazing. But for me, I found that I've needed one to do certain bookings online. So what I did when I found a credit card, I made sure that it had a reward system. Now, this would be for every $1 or $2 you spend, you get X amount of points. And at the end of the month, usually your points will accumulate enough to use towards something, or you can keep accumulating points until they do. My specific credit card I use and I put everything on it instead of using my actual bank account. Going in debt is never a good option. It's something I don't do. So I have a monthly budget and I like to follow that, but I do use my credit card for all the expenses and then pay them off right away. Every time I've used the credit card, it's accumulated points, and my specific credit card that I have, I can get gift certificates or gift cards from my favorite bookstore. They're an affiliate with them. So if you take a look, if you do use a credit card already, you might want to look and see if your credit card has reward points that is connected with a bookstore around you or a major chain. It usually takes a couple months for me, if I'm putting everything on, to get like a $20 gift certificate, but that's just my specific credit card. But take a look if you're already using one, and that might be something that helps you get free books. So this is my tip number 3. If you are buying books at bookstores, check to see if they have a rewards program. It can be slow going sometimes, or it can feel slow going, but for me, I think, a couple times a year, I'll have bought enough books using those handy gift cards that I get through my credit card, and the points add up, and a couple times a year I might get enough points to get a free book. So it's always interesting to see if the place where you're buying your books have any kind of rewards program and to sign up for them. My 4th tip that I like to use is to be conscious of where you're buying books from. Used bookstores have great deals, and I usually find that people who run used bookstores and curate the selection have a really good feel for being able to recommend books. Now, that's just my experience, but I've been able to find some great deals and great books that I didn't even know existed at used bookstores. So that's one of the places I like to shop when I am spending physical money and not gift certificates. And on top of used bookstores, there's a couple other places where when I do spend my money, I find I get a lot for what I spend. So there's a website that I use here in Canada. I know they have something similar in the US. It's Book Outlet. It's a company that I think they get overstock, or if they get books that have some sort of scratch or dent, you get them at a huge discount. There's been books that cost $40 in a bookstore that I've gotten for like $4 on Book Outlet. And usually I can find books that are in series that I'm reading or that are on my TBR for anywhere between $4 to $11 when the actual cost would be much, much higher at the bookstore. So although I do love promoting buying books at bookstores to help keep them around, Book Outlet has been really great for staying on a budget for me and for buying those books that are on my TBR at a really great price. Another website that I absolutely adore is Better World Books. They have warehouses all around the world, and it's used books that they sell at a great price, and shipping is usually also very reasonable. So it's another way of buying used books, which is kind of like recycling in my mind, you know, not going to waste. And yeah, multiple languages, multiple countries. I've sent books to friends off there all around the world, and it usually arrives within less than a month. And one of my favorite things is whenever you order a book off Better World Books, they have this little blurb that they email and send saying it's your book saying thank you for buying me and taking me out of the warehouse, and it just comes with a little hilarious blurb, and it's very personalized. The customer service has always been amazing for me, and the selection is incredible. I think there was only one time that I couldn't find a book. Other than that, they always seem to have whatever I'm looking for. Another place that I also will spend my money to get more bang for my buck is when listening to audiobooks. I found this new service called, I don't know how you say it, if it's Scribed or Scribd, I'm not sure, but it's not like Audible where you pay for the books like $19 to $20 or you use a credit. It's a monthly charge like Netflix, so I believe it's somewhere around $7 to $9. I'm not sure exactly. That's Canadian. And you have access to unlimited ebooks and audiobooks. Like you pay nothing for the ebooks or audiobooks. It's like a library borrowing system, but you can be listening to or reading as many as you want. So there's only been one or two books that are specific to Audible that I haven't been able to find on there, but other than that, they have all the new releases. It's a great selection, so I definitely check out Scribd or Scribed. Before I get to the last point, I just wanted to mention, in case you're wondering, this is not a sponsored video. None of the websites or services that I've mentioned are sponsoring me. This is all just, in my opinion, what has worked for me, and I'm sharing this with you in case you're looking for new ideas. So the last one, of course, is your local library. I love my library. It's cozy. We have a fireplace. The selection isn't great, but they have been so kind to order books from other libraries in the area, and the only reason why I struggle with my library is because I'm in a place where I don't actually speak the language. That's been my problem, but most libraries are amazing. It's a good way to meet other people, to hear about books. They have programs. I can't promote libraries enough, so if you're looking for a book, definitely check your local library, and if they don't have the selection that you're looking for, you can always ask the librarian if they can order it from another one of the surrounding libraries. Most libraries seem to have some sort of sharing system like that. So that concludes the tips, the things that work for me, and hopefully will work for other book lovers on a budget. If you have any tips, I'm always open and hoping to hear for new ways to be able to have access to all the exciting books and stories that I look forward to. So definitely share down below. I'd love to chat with you. If you've liked this video and what we've talked about, definitely click that like button. And if you're new to Bookhaven, I hope to see you again. Just click that subscribe button and you'll get a notice of any of the new videos coming out. Until then, keep reading, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.